When I say we are, you say Westlake. We are?
Westlake.
We are?
Westlake.
We are?
Westlake.
That may have been the best one of the whole year. That was amazing. This entire live studio audience, I am so impressed. Welcome, students. This is our Mustang Musings Assembly number 10, the final one of the year. And you know what? This is really when we get to let loose a little bit on and have some recognition, some celebrations, and be able to end the year correctly. Now, this is also the day of our STEM Rising Festival. So we're going to spend some of the assembly talking about what that looks like and making sure you know all the wonderful opportunities that are available to you so you don't miss anything on this great day that you have earned through your tremendous work throughout the year and specifically during the RISE testing the last few weeks. But with that, I want to jump back to how we got to this point. And I'm going to ask Mrs. Sanchez, one of our instructional coaches. Is she in the audience? Yes. Mrs. Sanchez, if you can come up here. Mrs. Sanchez is going to join me up here because she has been great at helping us master and unpack, oh, now I'm too tall, and unpack some of all the data that we got back from our RISE tests, and specifically how students did and how the school did as a whole. I want to talk briefly about how the school did, but I'm going to ask Mrs. Sanchez if you can explain how students were qualifying or shooting to qualify for a personal best of their own. Can you explain that part, and then I'll go into the others right after you?
Sure. So students were shooting to qualify for a personal best, which means that they did better this year than they did on the test 2 years ago, which was the last time that we had data in 2019. So what we were looking for was for students who got a personal best in 2 areas or more.
2 areas or more. Is that right?
Yep.
So we had all that we went through these last several weeks and last couple of months. You got those goal sheets that you've seen on the screen just now that showed your academic growth goal. It's kind of the progress of how you've done on language arts, math, and science over that time, and specifically that there was a goal that you were setting to try to beat where you had been in the past. So as Mrs. Sanchez explained, for students who achieved at least 2 of the 3 of those, they are being awarded with the Rise Up t-shirts. Can you show that off for us?
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Rise Up t-shirts. So if you had a personal best in 2 or more areas, you will have received a coupon telling you that you qualify for this t-shirt.
Yes, and if you haven't received the coupon yet, that's because your teacher, your first period teacher, still has it. And during the assembly, this would be an appropriate time, teachers, to get those passed out. For the next several moments, we are not going to read all of the names for the winners of the Rise Up t-shirts, but we are going to show them on the screen right now. So it goes kind of quick. Teachers, the names are on the tickets. So if you look at who's in your class, you should be able to hand those out pretty easily. But students, you can see across the entire school which students showed a new personal best on the RISE test by the names that are to follow. Here they go. Congratulations to those students. Each of the names you just saw on the screen are students who set a new personal best on the RISE test. All of you know what an accomplishment that is, how much work goes into those tests. It's simply remarkable. Now, if you received one of those tickets or one of those coupons with your name on it, that means, yes, you were one of the students who achieved that personal best on the RISE test. During the STEM Rising Festival, during the passing time throughout the day, or at the end of school is just fine, stop by with that coupon and you can pick up the RISE t-shirt you saw that Mrs. Sanchez was showing. Now that's for individual personal bests. Already on Mustang Media, you heard our explanation of how you did on setting a new school best. Every year, we are striving to beat how the Westlake students did in the years past on at least 2 out of the 3 subject matters. This year was really a challenging one to get to compare the data to, since we have gone to school approximately 75 to 80% of the time that the previous year students did. And to be comparable data, we thought it was very appropriate to make that adjustment. So we shared that graph, and I'm showing it to you right now, of how you accomplished a new school best appropriate to the circumstances of this school year and qualified for today's STEM Rising Festival. We're proud of you. We're thrilled about this accomplishment. And as exciting as it is, we've got a little bit of logistics to walk through because this is a really fun day, but it's a little bit complicated. We want to make sure you understand exactly how it works. So to do that, I'm inviting 2 of our other instructional coaches up. We're going to invite Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Rowland. A round of applause for those 2 to come on up. Thanks, you guys.
Congratulations on earning a STEM Rising Festival. We are so excited with your personal best and that you helped us as a school also earn that personal best and earn this STEM Rising Festival. Thank you to all of the teachers who are participating and helping to put together these amazing activities for you all day long. So Mrs. Smith's going to tell you what some of those activities look like.
Okay, you can go to the Among Us room. There is an imposter among us. There are also basketball and other blacktop games, and we have 2 rooms of board games. You can also go to 2 rooms where you can bring your own device and play games with your friends. Then you don't want to miss tie-dyeing a shirt, and I hope you brought your white shirt. Then you can also spend time on the inflatable obstacle course or really show us your moves on the dance floor. There's also karaoke. You might be the next person on The Voice. We have 2 movies showing in the multipurpose room. Those are Scoob and Cruella. You can also play the one and only Uno, or Bump, Set, and Spike It with volleyball, or prep for the World Cup and play some soccer.
So you heard about some of the activities, but the logistics are this. After this assembly, you're going to leave and you're going to go to your very first period, time period, but you get to choose an activity. You're going to receive a paper that looks like this blue one, and it will tell you exactly where each activity takes place. There are a few requirements to that. Once you choose an activity, you need to stay there for the entire class period. You will be scanned into that class period. Now, maybe it's not your favorite activity after you get involved, but that's okay because it only lasts about 50 minutes, and then you get to choose another activity. So you'll receive these directions, and then each class period you get to choose a different activity. Now, maybe if you're watching the movie, like Cruella, it's going to be awesome. But if you go to watch Cruella, you may want to stay in there longer than 1 class period. That's fine. You could stay in there and watch a movie all day long if you would like to. So you can choose which activity you want to go to, stay there 1 time, stay there the whole entire day. If you're really into dancing that's going to be outside, then you can go and hang out with our DJ and with all of the dances that are going to go on outside. And you can stay there all day if you would like to. So each class period, you get to choose a different activity. There are some specific directions. You will get scanned in for each activity. You must stay in the activity for the entire class period, and you can repeat that activity many times if you would like. You can pick an activity. You might have to pick an activity if it's full. If, for example, there's a classroom with board games and there already are 30 to 40 people in there, they might say, hey, this room's a little too full, and you get to choose a different activity for that class period. There will be no hall passes today. So once you're in activity, you need to stay there for the entire class period. So teachers will not be allowed to give any hall passes for the day. Also, there won't be any food allowed in the multipurpose room or in classrooms for this day. You will receive water. You'll get one water bottle today, so please make sure you hang on to it, and you can refill those water bottles between classes. We want you to be able to travel with your friends, so we're actually even giving you a 10-minute passing time so that you can get with your friends, figure out where you want to be, and be there on time before that bell rings. We have some specific expectations for the dance. It's the first one we've had all year, and so for this outside, we have 3 main expectations for that. There isn't any running. There won't be any throwing of objects, food, other things, whatever you might think to throw, don't throw it. And then there's also no PDA during that dance. Please. And our main key expectation is that you have fun and that all of our teachers have fun. So we hope that you have a great day.
Thank you, Mrs. Rowland. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. That is outstanding. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. You've seen the highlights of years past. One of our favorite things we've done at the end of the STEM Rising Festival is to take the last few minutes of the day and have what we've called a color battle. Those are the shots you've seen from the drone from above of the students in years past taking powdered color and throwing at each other. You don't have to participate in that. You will have to be at least a spectator for it, because for the last 15 minutes of the school day, we will exit outside the school, and on the west field next to the dining hall, we will have our color battle. We will have an area that's kind of an off-limits area. If you want to just watch, you're welcome to stand there, and that's how we will finish the day. It makes it super, super memorable. We're looking forward to that. Now, I'm going to ask that the teachers, for the next 5 minutes of our assembly, we are going to have you actually pass out these blue sheets and have all the students be able to look them over, kind of formulate a plan of which activities they want to do, and ask questions. Now, teachers, if you get stuck and you're not sure how to answer, shoot a text my direction or to one of our coaches, and we can respond to you with an answer if there's something that's unclear. But we want to make sure before we go any further in assembly that it's really clear how we run the STEM Rising Festival. It's a blast, but the logistics can be a little complicated. We want to make sure everyone understands that. Oh, one more thing Mrs. Smith's pointing out to me is a little bit complicated. Students, when you get your sheet, mine's not blue, but yours will be blue. When you get your sheet, you'll notice the last column for each activity says which lunch does that activity have. That only really matters for period 3. Period 3 says if it's going to have a first lunch or a second lunch. So if you're looking at activity, let's say I want to go to my bring your own device activity. The very first one of those says bring your own device is first lunch. If I want to go to that room and do bring your own device, then I need to go to first lunch, which means I go to lunch right after second period, and then I go to my third period of bring your own device after that. It's the same as what we do with our classes right now. As you know, every day for lunch, about half of our classes have first lunch and half our classes have second. But today's even better because you get to pick which third period you're going to. And yes, if you want to go to the same third period as your friends and do lunch with your friends, that is perfectly appropriate. We hope you have a blast doing that. But just make sure whichever activity you pick for third period, you know if you need to go to lunch before the activity or after the activity, and then it works out really well. So we're going to take 5 minutes right now. At the conclusion of the 5 minutes, I'll have a preview of one of our movies to get you excited about one of the movie choices that will bring us back together so that you know what options you have for the movies. Let's go to that point.
the very beginning, I realized I saw the world differently than everyone else. That didn't sit well with some people. But I wasn't for everyone. I guess they were always scared that I'd be a psycho. Sorry now. But a new day brings new opportunities. Sorry now. And I was ready to make a statement. How does the saying go? I am woman, hear me roar. I'm just getting started, darling. The thing is, I was born brilliant, born bad, and a little bit mad. I'm glad that you're sorry. I'm Cruella. No.
Welcome back, everybody. I actually got to see Cruella this last weekend, and it is great. By the way, Cruella, is it the first movie showing or the second? So the first movie showing. If you wanted to see Cruella, that's going to be playing in the multipurpose room, starting with first and second period, maybe spilling into the third. I don't know how long that will take, but basically we'll just keep playing that movie throughout those rotations. So if you want to see that, that's right off the bat to head that direction. Alrighty. At the end of every school year, we always have the same question come up. Mr. Howe, I've got all these crazy points I've earned. I've bought everything I want from the Mustang market or everything I'm allowed to. What do I do with the rest of those points? Well, I have our two amazing assistant principals over here, and they are going to help answer that question. So let's give them a round of applause. Such a good audience. Isn't it a great audience in here today? Just a great, great audience. Mrs. Wall, can I hand this to you? And I'm going to adjust to the other camera.
Absolutely. All right, Mustangs. Do you want to adjust first and then we'll go? All right, Miss Luther and I have the great pleasure of announcing some winners, and these winners are coming from your extra crazy points. At the end of the year, you have all these extra crazy points, and what are we going to do with those? We actually put your name into a drawing for every 25 crazy points that you have. So if you have 1,000, that's a lot of names in the drawing. So we have them already picked out, and it was a random drawing, and Miss Luther's going to go first.
Congratulations to all of our winners. The very first prize is going to be a water bottle full of lots of candy, and that is for Javier Lopez Vasquez. Yay! What's our next prize? Our next prize is a soccer ball. That is going to go to Clancy Tala. Oh, the next prize is amazing. This is a huge basket full of amazing things. Lots of candy, balloons, Takis, Pop Rocks. This is for Carlos Magallanes. Oh, this is our Bluetooth speaker. How exciting. Let's see who our winner is. Ignacio Flores.
Oh, Miss Luther.
Okay, we have some what are they called?
Apple AirPods.
Apple AirPods. Oh my goodness, this is great. Yes, Osvaldo Soto Martinez.
Osvaldo! Do you have one more? Mm-hmm. All right. We have another one of these.
Here is another water bottle full of candy, and that is going to go to Jacqueline Ariano.
Okay, I also have a few random winners here, and Miss Luther's going to hand me the prizes. So it looks like we've got another water bottle full of candies. And Miss Luther, would you hold that? The first person I have is Riley Larson. Congratulations. All right, the next name that I have is for a basketball, Spalding. Adriana Trujillo. Nice job. Okay, let's see who the next winner is. It's going to be for another Bluetooth speaker. Here we go. It is Michelle Cortez Garcia. Yay! Thank you, audience. Thank you. Okay, here we go. One of the big baskets. It looks like we've got some Takis, a Nerf football thingy, a balloon, and all kinds of candy and other prizes in there. So the next person I have is Carolina Herrera Soriano. Thank you. Okay, I have two more. Who's it going to be? Basketball, Spalding basketball. Let's see, it's Alexa Crump. Woo! And our final one for the final Apple AirPods. I can't wait. It is Jeremy Gordiano. Yay! Congratulations, everyone, and good job earning all those crazy points all throughout the year.
Thank you so much to our very own Mrs. Wall and Mrs. Luther, and congratulations to all those winners for our Zero Out the STEM Crazy Points. Thank you to all of you. It's so cool to see how many crazy points all of you have earned throughout the year. I know that's a lot of work. That's getting to class on time. That's being celebrated and rewarded by your teachers. All throughout the year, there's been a running account, a total of crazy points being added together. And yes, we spend them on the Mustang market, but come the very end of the year, that's the moment where we turn around and we do that drawing with some great prizes for a few people to get to win those. And once again, I struck out and wasn't a winner. But congratulations to those who did. Also, during our Mustang Musings assemblies, we usually have the opportunity to be able to recognize some of our students or our student performances. We've had a chance, whether it was recorded beforehand or done live and streamed, to get to see a lot of that throughout the year. Not as much as we would like to and would get to do on a normal year, but we've still gotten a good taste of that, and it's been fun to get to see our students participate in that. Now, our class that's involved in musical theater still got to put on a musical, even given the tricky set of circumstances this year. It doesn't mean we can have the same auditorium experience and have all of those people congregated together into one room, but it does mean that that hard work has not gone to waste. The musical has been Seussical Junior this year. We had 3 different casts put it together. That means you can actually watch the same play 3 different times and see different people perform the different parts, and how cool has that been? It's not done live because of the pandemic restrictions, but it is available to stream, and you can watch the whole thing. Today, as part of our showcase in our Mustang Musings Assembly, we want to show just one scene. We can't show the whole thing, but one scene of the tremendous job of our students in the school musical Seussical Junior. Take it away.
Humped a voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in a pouch said, "Hump!" Well, that speck is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that, well, there never has been. You're the biggest blind fool in the jungle of new, and I don't care who acts up. The biggest blind fool in the jungle of new, and I think so as well. Maybe I'm nasty, maybe I'm cruel, but you're the biggest blind fool in the jungle of new.
It's true, please believe me, I tell you sincerely. My ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's 2, even 3, even 4.
Ha! Like the voice!
Ha! Laugh some mother.
Like the Wickersham brothers! He's the biggest blind fool in the jungle of Noo, and monkeys like us should know. He's out on a limb, looking down on him. He's fat!
He's dumb!
He's slow! Elephants ain't too slick as a rule, but he's the biggest blind fool in the jungle of Noo. 'Cause he's talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. R-E-S-V-E-C-K. Oh, please, take that speck away. Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear? Through the jungle, the news quickly flew. Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear? Tossed to a dust speck.
It's on Channel 2.
Our topic today is psychic elephants who hear voices. What do you think, folks? Is the elephant off his trunk? We'll be right back with Speck, Clover, Dust, Neighbor, who? Nothing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Biggest blind fool in the jungle of Noo.
I'm Gertrude McFuzz.
right next door. He's never done anything crazy before.
Biggest blank fool in the jungle of Newell.
He's always been friendly and loyal and kind. I just don't believe Horton's out of his mind.
Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear?
Amazing the bird, and I live in that tree.
Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear?
Enough about Horton. Let's talk about me.
Let's talk about me. Talking to respect, talking to respect, to respect and trust.
Just a fool, just a fool, just a fool.
Talking to respect, talking to respect, to respect and trust.
I just have to save them because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. A person's a person, no matter how
Biggest blank fool in the jungle of Newell. He's the worst we ever saw. Telling lies, making jokes. It's an elephant hoax, brother, that's against the law. Breaking the peace, creating a fuss.
Somebody's thinking different than us.
Biggest blank fool in the jungle of Newell, Newell, Newell. In the jungle of Newell, Newell, Newell. In the jungle of Newell, Newell, Newell.
Can we give a round of applause to our students and Susicle Jr.? What an amazing thing. Every time I see the musical, I'm blown away by the amount of work that goes into it on the part of the teachers, on the part of the students, on the amount of memorization of lines. It is incredible. This year, you add the extra component of piecing all the video together. I've been involved enough with Mustang Media to know that is no small task. And what we just witnessed, and if you get to see the whole thing, is an incredible feat. So let's give them one more round of applause. I just think that's amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the finish line of our final Mustang Musings Assembly of the Year. There couldn't be anything sweeter than that. One of my favorite parts of the end of a school year and the end of our Mustang Musings Assembly is we do always save one final episode of Mustang Media. We call it our season finale, and it's the highlights of all that took place on a very exciting and adventurous year. We are going to finish in just a moment by getting to show you episode 199, the season finale of Mustang Media. But I want you to indulge me for maybe just 3 minutes as I have some final thoughts I want to share as we wrap up this school year and before we get to our STEM Rising Festival. I had a great opportunity this last Saturday to go hiking. Those who know me a little bit know that I go hiking a lot. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've got 4 kids ranging from high school down to elementary age. Usually I'll grab one of them because they're all different ability levels and go on a hike with just the 2 of us and make a little bit of a day of it. On Saturday, I went by myself. And I happened to be hiking and listening to my AirPods like a lot of you might do, okay? If you have AirPods that are tied to an iPhone, you know that when a text message comes in, if you got the settings set right, it's really cool because Siri will just read you what the text says. You notice that? Anyone here ever notice that? No one's ever noticed that? Okay, we know what AirPods are, right? Okay, so we're clear on that. That's what was happening to me while I was hiking. Now, I'll tell you, I was hiking something that was really tough. It was very steep, and I was on my own. I had my headphones in, and I'll tell you, I was dragging a bit. Now, on Saturday mornings at the Howe home, we have a weekly ritual of cleaning the house. I'm usually late to get back to it if I'm out on a hike, but we found that the best way to tell the assignments to our kids of which job they have for that day is to tell them which week number we are on and which assignments they have. It's a lot easier to tell my son Talmadge that he is on week number 1, which is cleaning the bathrooms, via text rather than tell him in person. Any ideas as to why? Because he doesn't like that idea. There's nothing worse than on a Saturday morning going, hey, Talmadge, good morning. Guess what? You have to clean the bathroom. See ya. So we do it via text. And my wife on Saturday morning will typically send out a text to me and my 2 oldest boys who have cell phones to let each of us know what our assignment is. She sends the picture of the graph showing what the assignments are, and then she just says which week number it is. Well, Saturday morning, I got a text message that simply read week number 1. Okay, I look at the graph and it tells me which job I have. Week number 1 is what she was trying to write. Siri just saw it, and while I'm trying to get up the steepest part of this hike, the only thing I hear in my ear is Siri in her beautiful computerized voice saying, week 1. And I'm sitting here struggling on the way up, and I hear this in my ear saying, week 1. And I sit here and think, week 1? Who are you calling week 1? Now, I pull out my phone, I realize it's my wife sending me that message, but it stuck with me for the rest of the hike. And I'll tell you, it spurred me on just a little bit. That somehow, and I didn't even know what Siri was talking about, I had this whispering in my ear telling me that I was a weak one, and I knew that wasn't true. Now, before we finish and do our Mustang Media finale, I also got to hear a really interesting quote, the same hike. And this is from David McCullough. Who's David McCullough, Mrs. Rowland?
He's a historian.
He is an amazing historian. He writes books of many things throughout history. 1776, the Brooklyn Bridge. He writes a lot of stories that maybe we don't know the details of. And the thing I was listening to from David McCullough wasn't any one of those stories. He was just talking in a similar setting as this to some graduates, some individuals who are about to finish college and go on to the world. And this is what he says that I think is pretty applicable to you and resonated with me as I had Siri's The Weak One rolling around in my head. He says, the world needs you. There is large work to be done, good work, and you can make a difference. Let's never be the kind of people who do things lukewarmly. If you're going to ring the bell, give that rope one heck of a pull. What does the word lukewarmly mean? Anybody know? I'm glad we got just another moment to learn one more vocabulary word for the year. Lukewarmly means you're not hot, you're not cold, you're just kind of in between. You're sitting on the fence. And here we're being counseled as you go into the next phase of your life, not to do things lukewarmly, in between, but to really, if you're ringing the bell, he says, to really engage with it, pull on it. We say the Pledge of Allegiance at the start of every single day in class. Sometimes we do it with Mustang Media. Sometimes we do it with the SBOs over the intercom. And when we do it, I go from class to class and I see different responses from the different groups. I'll go into one class and yes, we have the freedom and the liberty to get to choose how we're going to honor that moment. And I go into class where I see every student stand and participate. I'll go into the very next door classroom and I'll see the opposite, where few, if any, choose to participate. I worry that it's because of the influence of those who are around you, those who are watching you. And I would invite you, if you're going to ring that bell, that you're not lukewarm, that you give it one heck of a pull. That if you're going to climb that mountain and someone's whispering in your ear, weak one, or you don't belong with this, or we're all doing it this way, why don't you as well, that you not pay attention to that. That you identify it, what is it you believe in, and stand firm with that. That's my final plea to this group, our Mustangs, on this end of our school year. I thank you for the friendships. I thank you for the hard work you've done this year. And better than I could ever say it, I think we get to have a moment of celebration by getting to watch our final episode of Mustang Media. With that, let's start us off.
Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Stay up on the rise, never come down. Stay up on the rise, stay up on the rise, and never come down.
I hope when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. And I hope when the water rises, you build a wall. crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. And I hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. I hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. The only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. And I hope when your moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did, that with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I hope that you spend your days and they all add up. And when that sun goes down, I hope you raise your cup, raise your cup. I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I every broken bone, I swear, with every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I Here we go. Oh yeah. Well, maybe it's the common curse. Maybe things get bad before they get worse. I don't wanna become someone who can't live up to what I already done. Don't keep it just to figure it out. Well, it rains and pours and then it runs out. I was crying on the bathroom floor, and just when I thought I couldn't take no more, well, here comes the comeback. The kid is back, he's back on track, and there goes my hero. He's the underdog, he's coming out on top, and come on back. That's my dog. It was a talk of the trailer park. tonight. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say, I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your lover, can't take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. So needless to say, I'm odds and ends, but that's me, I'm stumbling away, slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry, and take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. All the things that you say, is it life or just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. You're shying away. I'll be coming for you